Cobra Kai fans, we're back! And we've got another theory today that we thought we'd run by you all. So, a couple key points. Fans have been speculating about what's going to happen in Season 3, and luckily we have a few hints being dropped by Netflix, interviews with the stars, and theories circulating Reddit, YouTube, and Facebook threads. Well, considering we won't get to see the next season until 2021 due to the current pandemic, fans can only continue to speculate on what's going to happen until then. And when it actually does come out, we can compare who was right and who totally missed the mark, which is going to be so fun. So today, friends, we're going to dive into what the Cobra Kai community has been calling the time jump theory. We think that there's going to be a bit of a time jump in Season 3, and we have some evidence to back it up. We can't wait to dive in and talk about it. As usual, friends, we've included a ton of info and speculation here, so if you're not all caught up on Cobra Kai, beware of spoilers. So, let's start with a quick recap of the Season 2 finale so that we can bring you the best speculation on Season 3. Well, the characters' lives at the end of Season 2 are pretty much a mess, and Johnny is bearing the brunt of a lot of it. We know about the huge cafeteria fight between Sam and Tory and Robbie and Miguel. Between Miguel's mom breaking it off with Johnny, Miguel in the hospital because he chose to show Robbie mercy as taught by Johnny, Kreese gaining control of Cobra Kai, and the potential return of Ali Mills into Johnny's life, it's safe to say he's got a lot going on. So what is Season 3 going to look like for him specifically? Well, Cobra Kai fans, let's dig a little deeper on this theory we've got brewing. Here we go. So a time jump is essentially this. When we pick up on the next season, it's not going to be exactly right where we left off. Some measure of time will have elapsed. Since we know that all the characters are facing some pretty harsh times, we can imagine if there's a time jump that the characters will have continued to deal with their issues for whatever amount of time that's skipped when we pick up in Season 3. It could be just a few days, weeks, months, or even years. I mean, we've seen other shows do it before, and considering Cobra Kai takes place decades after The Karate Kid, we know that the creators have no problem building the characters across multiple timelines. We're thinking it's most likely just a couple weeks to a couple of months, but a lot can change in a couple of months, so we'll have to see if this affects the plot points and characters in Season 3. So, why do we think there's going to be a time jump? Well, William Zabka, who plays Johnny Lawrence, was recently interviewed about his character and asked about Season 3, without giving anything away. He talks about his character at the end of Season 2 on the beach and the general hopelessness that his character felt. But then he says, he wasn't doing so well in Season 2, but Season 3 picks up a little bit later in time after Season 2. Okay, well, we think that's a pretty clear indication that we're going to see a slight time jump. Enough time that we see the effects of those events on Johnny, as Zabka says. Okay, so let's say it's been a couple of months. Cobra Kai fans, we definitely think the return of Ali Mills may have a positive influence on Johnny, since the two may be rekindling years of connection that they've missed. And this next season is going to be all about growth for Johnny. He needs to pick up the pieces and try to live his life without hitting rock bottom again. Ali will probably play a big role not only in the physical recovery of Miguel, but also in the mental and emotional recovery of Johnny. Whew, that's a lot of pressure for Ali, but we'll have to see what happens. We're also wondering whether Kreese is still in charge of the Cobra Kai dojo, since that's a huge source of pain for Johnny, which Zabka talks about in the interview. He says it was physically painful for Johnny to hand over the keys to Cobra Kai to Kreese. Well, at that point, there was really nothing he could do to salvage the situation, but we're thinking, if a couple weeks or months have passed, and we pick back up after Johnny's rock-bottom slump, maybe he's plotting a way to take down Kreese and gain back control of Cobra Kai? Maybe Miguel being in the hospital has given him even more motivation to both save his life and continue to be his mentor, trying to redeem himself from all his guilt. And like we said, considering Ali is in the equation, he'll probably be on his best behavior trying to do right by his Cobra Kai students and pull himself out of the slump. He had it pretty bad at the end of Season 2, so who knows what his life is going to look like for Season 3. All we know is that we're definitely going to be seeing the effects of the time jump on Johnny, and possibly see him doing better when we pick back up in Season 3. We're also wondering how the time jump will have affected Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do. In the Netflix teaser trailer that was released, we saw that Daniel is most likely in Okinawa, training, practicing, and most likely just trying to clear his mind away from his family. Well, what is this going to mean for the time jump? Is he away for just a week? A month? A couple months? And how does that affect his relationship with Amanda and Sam, considering Sam has just gotten into this crazy fight at school? Well, this also leads us to believe that maybe it's been a couple of months when we pick back up on Daniel in Okinawa, since it's doubtful he would just run off right after the cafeteria fight. At least we hope he didn't do that. Regardless, it's going to be interesting to see how this time jump affects Sam, her karate life, family life, and her love life. We are also convinced it'll be a few weeks to a few months for the time jump because of a tweet from Hayden Schlossberg answering the question, is Miguel going to get revenge on Robbie for what he did? To which Schlossberg replies, oh yes. Okay, so this could mean a number of things. It could mean physical revenge, but that would mean enough time needs to have passed for Miguel to fully recover from being paralyzed, which we imagine is like 6 months to a year, or maybe even more depending on the scope of his injuries. Or it could also mean emotional or mental revenge, considering they were fighting over their love interest, so maybe Miguel and Sam get together or something like that, which wouldn't require him to fully be recovered to exact indirect revenge on Robbie. The way in which he gets his revenge would definitely determine how long the time jump is, and clear up how the characters' lives have changed in the process. Either way, we're just gunning for Miguel's full recovery since Cobra Kai fans are definitely wondering if he'll be okay in Season 3. So, fellow Cobra Kai fans, there you have it! When we watched that interview, we knew we had to pick apart just exactly what this time jump means for Johnny especially, as well as the other characters we so love on this show. So, what do you think about the time jump theory, and how long do you think it's gonna be? And what else do you think is gonna happen in Season 3? Leave us a comment below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and as usual, ring that notification bell as we bring you more juicy info, gossip, and speculation about the shows and stars you know and love. Until next time!